Okay, so we've got this Aalto University MBA speech, right, by Joseph Chen, and it's got it all. Helsinki, graduation, even a little sci-fi thrown in.
Yeah, but Mr. Chin's speech, it really gets into his experience with this program. It's not just about the academics, but how it changed his outlook, his approach to leading. Really fascinating stuff.
Definitely seems like a transformative experience. I mean, he even jokes about his dad probably hanging out in his underwear, making dumplings while he's giving this speech.
He does have a good sense of humor about it all. And you have to remember, he was going through this demanding program during a pandemic with a war going on nearby. That ability to find the lighthearted moments, it says a lot about him.
Resilience, for sure. And he seems really grateful for the people who helped him along the way. Family, his company back in Taiwan, even Aalto University itself.
Yeah, he really emphasizes how important those connections were for him. Meeting people from all these different backgrounds, he makes it clear that Alto really cultivated that, even outside of the classroom.
It's interesting how he ties that into his development as a leader. He even talks about the program being like speed dating for teams.
It's a really interesting analogy, right? Imagine constantly being thrown together with new groups of people. You have to figure out the team dynamics fast, who's good at what, how to work together to achieve a common goal. It's like a crash course in adaptability.
Which is pretty important these days, no matter what you do. So he's learning all this stuff, working with all these different people, and then that's where this Johari window thing comes in.
Exactly. Imagine a window with four panes. One is what you know about yourself, one is what others know about you, another is your blind spot, things you're unaware of but others see. And then the last pane, that's unknown to everyone.
Okay, I see where this is going. So the EMBA program is helping him uncover some of those blind spots.
Precisely. Through working with others, getting feedback, he starts to see aspects of himself as a leader that he hadn't recognized before. It's about self-awareness, understanding how your actions impact others.
Right, because you can have all the skills and knowledge in the world, but if you can't work effectively with people, it's not going to get you very far.
He makes it clear that true leadership is about more than just technical expertise. It's emotional intelligence, self-awareness, connecting with people on a deeper level. And that's where his experience with the program really shines through.
We're definitely seeing some common themes emerge. The importance of friendship, creative teamwork, self-awareness. It's interesting, too, how he talks about the program encouraging, like, out-of-the-box thinking. I loved that part where he talks about writing this futuristic essay for his service marketing module, the one where he's beamed into the 22nd century, teaching students on Mars and space stations.
It's more common than you might think. Using these kinds of futuristic scenarios, it can be a really effective way to get people thinking differently. And in his case, it seems like it helped him process his experience during the pandemic. Think about it. Online classes, staring at faces on a screen. It's not that different from interacting with someone on another planet.
I never thought about it like that. He's taking what could have been an isolating experience and turning it into a jumping-off point for exploring the future of connection. Pretty amazing.
Exactly. And it highlights how technology is changing how we learn, how we connect. The lines between physical spaces and virtual spaces are definitely blurring.
Makes you wonder, what's education going to look like in 10, 20 years? But even with all this talk about Mars and the future of education, what I keep coming back to is how much Chen's personal development factors into his story.
It's a constant theme throughout his speech.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he went there for business skills, and he got that. But he walked away with something much bigger, a totally new way of thinking about leadership.
It's like his whole definition of leadership changed.
Exactly. He went from the traditional view, guiding, coaching, motivating, to something way deeper. He talks about the mind and heart of a leader. It's about purpose, making sure what you do lines up with what you believe.
It's not just about actions. It's about the why behind the actions.
Right. And he realized that effective leadership, it comes from truly understanding yourself, your values. It's about authenticity, inspiring others by being genuine.
So if a leader is coming from that place, that mind and heart place, it impacts the whole team.
Totally. It changes the energy, the motivation, even how successful the team is. It creates a shared purpose, a feeling of everyone being all in.
Like, think about a group project where everyone's just trying to get it over with versus one where everyone's passionate. You can tell the difference in the end result.
Exactly. It's about finding that connection between what you're doing and something bigger. And his concluding thought really drives that home. He admits that an MBA isn't for everyone, but for him, it was transformative. He discovered a new approach to leadership, one that values both the intellectual and the emotional, the mind and the heart working together.
He even talks about transforming his team, his mind, his heart. It's like a holistic transformation. You're not just learning new stuff, you're changing as a person. What do you think was the catalyst for him? What made it all click?
It's hard to pinpoint the exact moment, but he does talk about how important self-reflection was in the program. Remember that Johari window, that exercise, and the constant feedback they did? It seems like that really pushed him to confront his ideas about leadership, about himself.
You can't really grow if you don't know where you're starting from, right? If you're not aware of your own strengths, weaknesses, how you affect other people.
And he makes it clear this wasn't a one-and-done thing. It was continuous learning, pushing himself out of his comfort zone. Sounds like that's something he wants to keep doing even after graduating.
And that's what I'm taking away from all this. It's like you said, sometimes the best lessons come from where you least expect them. Here's a guy, goes to Helsinki for an MBA, probably thinking it's going to be one thing. And he comes out changed by sci-fi essays and team speed dating.
It really shows how important it is to be open to new experiences. You never know what you're going to learn or where you're going to find it.
Well said. And for everyone listening, if you could design your own ideal learning experience, what would it be? What would your sci-fi classroom look like? Personalized AI tutors, virtual reality simulations, something we haven't even thought of yet. Whatever it is, I think Joseph Chen would tell us to embrace the unexpected and see where it leads.
Absolutely. Who knows? It might just lead to your own transformation.
This has been a fascinating deep dive. Thanks for joining me. And for all of you listening, keep those minds curious and keep exploring.